Every time you turn the page, you have to wash your hands. You turn the page, you wash your hands. You turn the page.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today, we're going to be taking a quick look at the new premium DNA Earthworm Jim action figure.
Earthworm Jim!
The soil he did crawl.
Earthworm Jim!
A super suit did fall. Jim was in the dirt eating chewy length of worm flesh, but all that came to a crashing end.
Earthworm Jim!
And I'm going to go ahead and say it again. This action figure is actually a knockoff from Aliexpress. I believe I paid about $22.97 to have this thing shipped from, I believe, China to my home. It came pretty nice. It came bubble wrapped up. It did come in a bubble mailer, but it appears as though it came in this probably pretty close to the original packaging of the actual real product. I don't think anybody actually has the real product from Premium DNA. I think everybody's been waiting on a pre-order for two years now, so that's a bit crazy how knockoffs are out and shipping, but no one can get their pre-order from a legit company. But anyway, in this video, we're going to check out the packaging. We're going to open up the figure. We're going to look at the figure, talk about it, look at the accessories, talk about them, and do some comparisons. So stay tuned. So here's the front of the actual box, and you get this awesome Earthworm Jim name and logo right here. Earthworm Jim with snot down below. You get some awesome video game artwork of Earthworm Jim right here. And you can see in the front of the package what all you get. You get the Earthworm Jim figure, you get some heads, you get some snot, you get a blaster, and some extra hands. Looks pretty sweet. It even has the Premium DNA logo like right here. So, I mean, I'm still assuming this is a knockoff and not like some random figure that some company obtained and just sold for half the price. Ages 14 plus on these. Here's the artwork on one side of the box. Other figures that may come in the wave. Looks like you get Bob, the killer goldfish, Psychro right here, Professor Monkey for a head, and then there's Earthworm Jim and snot. On the back of the box, it shows you all the groovy gear and accessories. Take a quick look at that. And on this side, you get a very sick looking image of Earthworm Jim himself from the video game. Looking awesome. Now we'll go ahead and crack this thing open. And one more thing about that packaging it came in. It came extremely mint. It was in great condition. And here's that Earthworm Jim figure inside the plastic tray. Let's go ahead and pop him on out. And before we talk about the Earthworm Jim figure, first we're going to go over the accessories he comes with. And first up, we'll look at this here blaster. It looks pretty good. It's got a nice, or I don't know if it's painted or not. The end here, I don't think it's painted either. But it looks pretty video game accurate as far as I can remember. It is a red plastic. The sculpting work is pretty simple on this. And it's got that yellow plastic end on the blaster here. There's the trigger right there. Not much to say about this. It feels like it's got a little bit of weight to it. It doesn't feel too cheaply made. And it's a good accessory that Earthworm Jim definitely has to have. And you get two additional head sculpts right here. One is like a happy smiling head. The other one looks pretty angry, and he's like looking off to the side at someone. And these heads are they look pretty good, if you ask me. They probably couldn't be much better. They look just like all the promo images, I mean, and they look just like the original as far as I can tell. And he has 3 sets of hands altogether. He has this set of hands right here. Both are like open, splayed open hands. And he has these gun-holding trigger finger hands. And notice he only has 4 fingers, just like he did on the show and the video game. So that's pretty accurate to the source material. And here's like 2 alternate backpacks with his sidekick snot coming out of them. And these things look pretty good too. Nice green plastic, yellow painted eyes, little tiny backpacks, but I don't know if the backpack on his back is supposed to pop off and these pop on, but these are extremely thin and kind of crappy looking where the backpack part is, the white part, and there is no peg hole for it to plug into his back. So that seems a bit disappointing. And then of course on the back of the box, it doesn't show either of these snot accessories even in a backpack. So I don't know what's going on with this, but it kind of looks like a shitty deal that these extra backpacks with snot will not be able to be used. But we'll take a look at that figure here in a second and see. And here's a normal version of snot, not stuck into a crappy backpack. And yeah, green plastic, yellow eyes, and the tongue sticking out. Looks pretty sweet. And it's a pretty simple accessory. Not much else to say about it. It's got a little bit of weight to it. It doesn't feel too cheaply made. And now for the main attraction. Here is Jim. And pulling him around in my hands here, he feels all right. All the joints, they move pretty smooth, and they're not real tight. They're not real loose. He can do a good T-pose just like this. The arms, they can move all the way around on both sides. He's got a double jointed pinless elbow, but you only get single jointed action pretty much. I mean, that's as far as it can bend right there. You get wrist hinge, and the gun holding hands actually has up and down wrist hinge. He has a torso articulation right here. He probably has a ball joint in the mid torso, and then he has a swivel at the waist, and the articulation point in the mid torso doesn't move at all, or I can't get it to, and I'm not going to force it. But he can twist at the waist right there. And the crooked harness going across his chest, it is not connected to the belt. It's like a free piece, like a sculpted overlay, so he can twist at the waist nice and freely. Oh shit. And this thing, it does feel very fragile in hand. He's popping and creaking everywhere. He's got double jointed pinless knees. They can move about like that. He can kick up about that far. He does have ankle articulation. He moves just like that up and down. Trying not to break this damn thing. And for the head, he can move around just like that. He can look down. He can look up. And he can go side to side. This thing, it just feels so easily broken and fragile. But it still looks pretty sweet. It's going to be a good shelf piece, that's for sure. And there's the backpack on the back. As you can see, it is a normal, thick-looking backpack. And then here's what I assume is supposed to be an extra backpack. It's all thin and weird looking. And once again, it has no peg hole. And this one here has no peg hole. But it looks like this backpack is definitely plugged in with a peg hole. And it does not want to come out, and I'm not going to force it. I'm just going to leave it like it is. It's got some pretty nice details though on it for the sculpting work and all that. It probably didn't take a whole bunch of paint to make this guy. Gloves look pretty good. The color blue throughout looks very nice. I love these face sculpts. They look very, very good. Got this worthless holster right here. Overall, so far, I mean, I'm pretty happy with my purchase. I wouldn't say it's a must-have, and it's not something that I would, you know, break my back to go out and get. I damn sure wouldn't pay full price for this, just in case this is the actual product Premium DNA is going to put out. But, and we all know Premium DNA has had trouble in the past. It would appear to me that Premium DNA is just Megalopolis Toys rebranded. And if you've been in the game long enough, you know how big of a joke Megalopolis was there for about a year, around what, 2020, 2021, right before they went out of business. They took a lot of money from a lot of people on some jacked around orders, and I don't know what the deal was with that, but yep, it couldn't be any more apparent that Premium DNA is just rebranded Megalopolis. And yeah, a lot of folks had a lot of problems with Megalopolis, including myself, so enough about that. Go ahead and we'll do some part swapping here. So that actually popped in pretty easily, and that wrist articulation is pretty good on that. And then he can hold his blaster perfectly. So that's a good looking shot right there. The gun may be a little bit loose in that hand, but overall it's pretty well done for a knockoff. And we'll go ahead and shit. I don't know if I am going to swap that head out. I feel like it's going to break. It does not want to come easy, so I'm going to skip the head swap. I may do that off camera and add some heat or something, but once again, here's what the other heads look like in comparison to this head. So, and he looks pretty good just like this. There's no real need to do a lot with this guy anyway, but there is only so much he can do. You know, articulation's limited. He's all poppy and cracky and feels fragile in hand. But I mean, he's definitely top heavy too, like the torso and the leg differences, the size proportions, but they're accurate to the game and all that and the show. And if it wasn't for these big long feet, you know, he probably wouldn't be able to stand at all. So luckily he had that as part of his design. My final thoughts on this knockoff Earthworm Jim from Premium DNA is, you know, I feel like it's pretty good. I would definitely rebuy this again. It is going to serve a good purpose in my collection. It's going to be a very strict shelf piece. I'm probably never going to play around with this. But once again, that's what I bought it for, just to sit on a shelf and look cool and represent my fandom of Earthworm Jim that I've had since I was about 4 or 5 years old. And yeah, I think this figure's going to get that done. He's got a good amount of accessories, even though I'm afraid to use half of them. The hands, they seem to change out pretty easily, pretty well. The heads, I would probably heat that up and then pop it out. And the extra backpack with snot is pretty much worthless. If you wanted to pop the old backpack off and hope it didn't break, and then put the one with snot on, you could probably use sticky tack or something. I'm just not going to try that because I do not want to break my awesome Earthworm Jim knockoff here. Hopefully it still helps some of you guys on deciding if you want this figure. I would probably go this route instead of buying from actual Premium DNA, because who knows if Premium DNA is ever even going to ship your stuff or what condition it's going to be in once you do get it. Because like I said, Premium DNA, they are Megalopolis, and Megalopolis was not good. But, yeah, overall good figure. Good enough for what I paid anyway. Once again, this was $22.98 or $97, something like that on Aliexpress. It was very easy to find on there. They also had the rest of the figures that they have made. But anyway, it was worth the price. Please like, subscribe, check out some more of our other videos, and stay tuned for more awesome content. And we will see you next time. Peace out.